Good evening, everybody. Welcome back again with another live show on the channel. Yes, top 5 strikers, past or present, that have played for the club, which is what we are doing tonight. I wonder who you think we've got in our top 5 tonight. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, we've all got some great, interesting choices for tonight. We've got me and Mason got maybe one or two that might be the same, but we have gone for some different ones as well. I mean, again, a lot of these were very, very close as well. Again, it was just hard to pick some of these as well. So, yeah, but this is what the show's all about. Remember to take part as well and let us know who your top 5 would be, past or present. So we're on to the strikers.
Can I change mine? One of mine?
Yeah, go ahead, Mason, if you want. If you want to make a last change, feel free. Do you know what? I think I am as well.
If it's the same one, as me, it doesn't matter.
Private chat, Mason. Anyway, just before we get the show on the way, guys, if you do enjoy tonight's show, remember to give us a thumbs up. It keeps us up those search results on YouTube. Please, of course, if you are brand new to the channel, if you're not yet subscribed and you enjoy what goes on the channel week in, week out, please hit that subscribe button. It really, really does help grow the channel as well. Oh, fair enough, Mason. No, I haven't got him. I wasn't thinking of that one. So I'm going for. So please do subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. We're almost halfway to 2,200. Please help us get there as soon as we can by smashing that subscribe button. Of course, remember to hit the bell notification. That will let you know whenever we are live or when a pre-recorded video does take place on the day as well. So very, very interesting. So yeah, please do hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to give a donation, feel free to do so. And if you want to become a member, it's 99p a month. Hit the join button to become a member, and you'll be put to the next prize draw we do on this channel as well. So you go. We'll dive into a few comments that have come in, but we have just decided just to make one last change for this. So I was thinking. So well then, we'll dive into a few comments. They've come in first. Good evening, Lawrence. Hope you're well. Evening. I've been in Mason's favourite place, Cardiff, all day. Back now, home in Mumbles, overlooking Swansea Bay. Interesting. Evening, best strikers now. Ever seen ourselves, says Tom. Hope you're well, Tom. Evening, guys, up the Bluebirds. Evening, lads. How are you doing tonight, lads? Evening. We're in Cardiff. Were you today? He apparently was. Good evening, Julie. Hope you're well. Is the thing. Big up, Peter and Mason. PD, Mason, you're not going to be talking about 10 Leeds players playing for the Toon, are you? No. This is our top 5 past or present air players. Bad Wolf Studios as well. And good evening, Mr. Fleming. How are you? Good evening. I say, how are you? Good evening, Mr. Ian Fleming. Hope you're keeping well, my man. That's what I was meant to say. Right, and let's get away this one then. So... you are. Right then. Should we get into it then? Let's do this. Oh, thank God. It says Jam Stasher. No, definitely not. Definitely not doing current Leeds players. That's all we can. That's what we're gonna see. We'll go on to your right. We're gonna do this in no particular order as well. So this is in no particular order. We are going to do this as well. So. Well then, so for your first one, Mason, we'll get this one. And this is an interesting one you've gone for. And you've gone for this man. So let's bring him on screen. You've gone for Andy Carroll. Okay, that's fair enough. Of course, we know he came from the academy. Got introduced in the first team about 2009, I would say. Oh, I think he actually did play. He did play a couple of pre-season games. He's featured in some cup games as well, but I think he started to play a lot of first team football around about 2009, I would say, the season we got relegated, and then became one of the first choice strikers of course, in the championship season, banging a lot of goals. Then we're getting the number 9 shoe when we got promoted, but unfortunately was sold for 35 million, which it's hard to say who was it down to. Was it down to Carroll wanted to go, or did Mike Ashley just want 35 million quid? But go ahead, Mason, take it away. Andy Carroll.
It was actually Ashley who wanted him gone.
Yeah.
Because I seen it thingy with Kevin Nolan, interview with Nolan, saying that he had to have Andy Carroll in his house because obviously he was getting a load of abuse and yeah, obviously, and then he came out saying that Ashley wanting him gone. Quite pissed off at you. Quite pissed off he went to Liverpool, and obviously it was around my time. I think injuries didn't help him. Injuries did since he left Newcastle hasn't helped him, unfortunately.
No, it hasn't. He was very injury prone. He didn't have many injuries for us the first time we had him.
Man. Fuck's sake, it was. It was decent for her when we went down in the championship the first time. I think it was decent for her at that time as well. Obviously, he's from my neck of the woods in Gated. Not far from me actually. When I used to go in that part of Gated, and now I'm living in a different part of Gated now. It was decent for her the first time around. Obviously, and then he got that moved to Liverpool. Obviously, he got the backlash, but luckily enough, it was a certain owner at the time wanting him gone. Then obviously was at Liverpool under Dalglish. I think it was Brendan Rodgers got rid of him. Went to West Ham. Probably was probably apart from Newcastle at the first time, his decent spell. Injuries happened there as well. Obviously came back to us. Injuries as well. Reading. He was at Reading for once he got released just before the takeover, and obviously went West Brom with a certain manager, and obviously went back to Reading, and obviously he's in Amiens in France. Any particular players who I know he plays with? Just some kid who played for Sheffield Wednesday a few seasons ago, and that's it. And some kid who was playing for Grimsby Town. Obviously, I picked Carroll because obviously, not just because he's from Gate, it's not from my neck of the woods. It's just that Julie D, yes he is. Just because of his because I think I got him in because of his first spell.
Yeah, I mean, he got quite a lot of goals in the championship. I think he just got into double figures when we were in the Premier League as well, when we first got up. So, yeah. I'll just rather these comments. This is Judy's top 5. Shearer, Celez, Cole, Beardsley, Supermac. Supermac, yes. I mean, it was before my time, Supermac, so... But yeah, he was cracking player back in those days. Lawrence has put Rondon in one of his top 5. Rondon was not a bad choice. I mean, had a lot of skill on him. Got over 12 goals in all competitions in his first season. He was just saying hello. I've got to say hi, Martin. Hope you're keeping well. This is Tom's top 5. Shearer, Ferdinand, Isak, Cole, Wilson. Interesting. Tom, would have maybe put Carroll on there if he'd stayed longer. Interesting. I knew a few who work for Bad Wolf. Mumble's a very place also. Paul Dummer was a very good star. Yes, we'll never forget that.
Brian and Gillespie.
The cheer should be a saint, says Julie. Absolutely. Good evening, Mohammed. Actually, just wanted 35 million in his pocket. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Carroll's superb in his younger days for us. Watched him score some cracking goals, including at Swansea City in front of the way end. Glorious. Yep. Probably the player I was most good to see. 22-year-old local lad from the academy and banging the goals in. Also just got his first England cap as well. that was gut wrenching about the Carroll going was it was right on the final day of the transfer window of 2000 in the January 2011 window, right at the end, and signing just before the window slammed shut was absolutely heartbreaking. And then who do we go and pick up on as a free agent? Chef Kikuchi. Very good. Some honourable mentions. Karol Rondon Mitrovic, says Julie. Yep. Carol's still in France. Yes, he is. Amiens, Arminian. Yes, Tom. Man United could get banned. You wait for you because the Jim's team France League. I heard there's a bit of a rumour going on about that.
I sent you the screenshot of the article, didn't I? Earlier on.
I thought you were from Cardiff, Coleman.
Oh,
Carol was every centre back centre.
At least I'm not from Liverpool. At least I'm not from Liverpool, John Paris.
Do the strikers have to be in our lifetime, Pete? Well, if you want to put some in your top 5, Ian, who were playing before my time, feel free to go ahead and do so. Andres Anderson. Oh God, those were terrible. Those players, particularly Guy Vosch. John Dal Thomason didn't cut it for us, unfortunately. Also, the time of Devin Elvin, especially when the short-term replacer was Chef Kikuchi, but Osbal was an upgrade later. He was. Super Mac used to drink in my dad's pub, the Black Diamond, a concert. I have a picture of me at 7 on his knee in a pub. Nice one, Martin. I'm not from Liverpool.
Yes, you are.
Manu will get away with it, says Julie. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. We don't. It's just a rumor going around because Sky aren't reporting that as well. Right then, so we'll go on to mine. My first one. Super Matt used to live in the street next to me in the 90s. Used to be a regular in the local sandwich shop. Could be grumpy at times, but was canny enough and was always talking NUFC. Nice one, Tom. Yeah, people said he could be a bit of a miserable sod at times as well. So
his wife's Brian Johnson's ex-wife, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Yes. I'm pretty sure there's 2. Evening, Peter Mason, everyone. Go up you well, Lee. Name a worst striker at Newcastle, Riviere. He was awful, him like. Right, this is my first one. Now, I did make a last change during the show. I did have Wilson at first, but I've decided to replace him with this player. And I've gone for Andy Cole. I thought Andy Cole was very, very good for us. He really, really did. Of course, we signed him. We signed a guy from Bristol City in 1993. We did have him for coming up to 2 seasons as well. And did help us win the Division 1 title and help us win promotion to the Premier League. Of course, we remember the guy. He also got 2 hat-tricks. The first one against Barnsley. And then the other one was against Leicester City as well. And also scored the club's first 2 goals in their promotion clincher win over Grimsby Town as well. I remember the guy when he came in. I think he got the number 8 shirt first. But after when David Kelly was sold to Wolves, he then got the number 9 then as well. And
his kid plays for Devante plays for not fucking Reading, Barnsley.
Yeah, so I think
his son plays for Barnsley.
Yeah, so Andy Cole got quite a few goals for us in the Premier League as well, considering he was only here for a couple of years as well, pretty much, so nearly a couple of years. And then, of course, we sold him, and his replacement was Keith Gillespie, and it was a swap deal as well. So, yeah, so it was 6 million plus the 1 million rated Gillespie going in the opposite direction. So I think it was down to he was left because of a bit of an argy-bargy with King Kev or something like that. I can't remember. It was to do something about that. Cole was he trying to say that he was saying he was better than he was, or that he was becoming a bit too much for King Kev. It's a hard one, but it was something down to that, and apparently then Keegan went and sold him on, something like that. So Albert Luque number 1, he didn't cut it. Unfortunately, Skisco was terrible. Andres Anderson, God, he wasn't that. He was terrible as well. Number 4 for me is Remy. Interesting there, Lawrence. Like Remy, yeah, did well in his first season. Should only had him for a long spell. Niall Rangen is number 1 for me. Said, oh, he just threw his career down the drain. He could have been a good player, but they decided to throw it all away. This is Mick Shearer, Cole, Isak Demba and Mickey Quinn. See, Mickey Quinn was a cracking player as well. I did marry Brian Johnson's ex-wife. My dad knew her a bit as he used to work at Parsons with Brian before he became famous. Interesting. Nice one, Tom. I think CC deserves a mention too. You never know. He could be on our top 5. You never know. This is Lewis. Boss, CC, Isak Remy, Alan, that's be top 5. My all-time top 5 would be Hughie Gallagher, Jackie Milburn, Supermax Shearer, and Andy Cole. So you got some mid-ranges.
Ian, I'm surprised you didn't repeat our own ones.
I think
I'm only doing that because you played for. I'm only doing that because you played for Rangers.
Do remember seeing Keegan talking about it in his bio. I believe he said he wasn't training as usual. Yeah, it was about Andy Cole. I think it was something along that. So it must have been doing something. It was something to do, like if by something that he wasn't up to standard in training. Apparently,
I bet you people got a gift from stick when he signed for Sunderland on the way keen.
Where's 5? 1 Riviere, Andres Anderson, Cisco, Frank Pingle, Tony Cunningham. God, yes, some really good choices there, Tom, on some of the worst.
And again, Andy Cole did play for Man City, so I wouldn't say he probably wouldn't have got.
Chris Waddle's, Chris Waddle's not a bad shout as well.
His mother-in-law lives in Gateshead, actually.
Yes.
No, I mean his mother-in-law still lives in the area. Lives in Gateshead.
Yeah. Cunningham was class. So you on about Tony Cunningham there, Mick? No, thanks, Mason. Ian, I thought you Gallagher was before your time, says Tom. What did Mason think of Lee Trundle?
It was an absolute godsend for us. Absolute godsend.
Andrew, Mr. DB, hope you're keeping well, my man. So yeah, Andy Cole was one of my choices for this one. I did have Callum Wilson the first, but I thought just saw that Andy Cole was really, really cracking for us as well.
Can I just quickly answer David's question again?
Yeah.
Lee Trundle does support the same team as a certain John Parrott who's in the chat.
Yeah, well. Good evening, Pete. Hope you're keeping well as well, Pete. Good to see you on the night show as well. So, yeah. After Green Mason, one of the most talented players I've ever seen live, says David. Just a bit, Tom, but read a lot about him, says he. And there you are. Oh, well, then there you go. Okay, then we'll go on to another one of mine. And also Mason's got the same one as well. We're going for this guy. That is Demba Ba, and Mason's had got him in his as well. Of course, yeah. I remember getting Demba Ba from West Ham on a free. 70 goals in his. It's about 60 to 70 goals in his first season when he first signed for us. His first goal, it was his first ever hat-trick, and that was against Blackburn Rovers when we beat them 3-1. And the guy just ended up scoring goals for the fun of it, just from there, pretty much. So, and yeah, and the guy was just becoming a good old scoring machine as well. But then, second half of the 2011-12 season, we was drifting more into left wing, and the last goal in the 2011-12 season was against Villa when we won 2-1, and that was when we had Cisse there, got Cisse then as well, and then Demba Ba was shifted over to left wing, and unfortunately stopped scoring the goals there then for us. But then the other half, the second half, so when we get into the 2012-13 season, he was back more central, but fortunately we had Cisse playing out far wide as well. But still, Demba Ba was still at about 15, 16 goals for us in that season as well. But what happens? We've apparently heard that he had a 7 million release clause, unfortunately. And unfortunately, in came Chelsea and triggered that. And then he unfortunately went off to Chelsea, unfortunately. But I thought this guy was a right goal machine, I thought. I was gutted when we sold him as well. 7 million as well. So, but I thought the guy was brilliant for us, and he could certainly score goals as well a lot. So he scored double figures, at least in the seasons that we had him. So I was just devastated when he left for Chelsea because of the release clause, which was enabled to be triggered by them. So, but Demba Ba was a cracking signing for us. Mason, why have you gone for Ba?
Obviously, I think it's because of the. Are you taking the piss, aren't you? You had a trial at Swansea. Fuck me. I've just read them about had a trial at Swansea. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
surprised you don't remember that, Mason. I was going to wait to see if you would remember that yourself.
Fucking hell. And what turned them doing? Christ almighty. Fucking hell. Demba Ba for his time at Newcastle. I hate. If that was Brendan Rodgers, he needs shot for it. Who turned him doing? I think it's for his pure work ethic, and obviously for the goals he scored for Newcastle. I was disappointed he left for Chelsea. But I wouldn't say disappointed, probably pissed off because I don't like Chelsea. I was disappointed you went. I was pissed off that you had went. But he was really, really good, really, really fantastic when he was at the time. Especially that partnership with Cisse. He was some talent, and especially we got him for free from West Ham.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just gutted when he left. I mean, it was so. Much from you can't say Dean Lord Andrews in the likes of Waddle and Beardsley. They can maybe classed as forwards, but not strikers. I think there's a difference, possibly just like behind the strikers, attacking like number 10 kind of players, something like that. You say Ian Wilson is number 3 for me. I see I did have Wilson, but I thought Cole got quite a lot of goals in the amount of time he was here. So Demba Ba syrup. Yeah, I remember that in his interview when he says match day strawberry syrup. He says, I love syrup. Ian Sinalodina Julie. Sinalodali. Espria, great hat-trick against Barcelona. Yeah. Espria was pretty good for us, particularly under Keegan. Sinalod Bellamy and Espria, more honourable mentions. Bellamy scored goals, but he just unfolded what let him down was letting his mouth go too much.
Just to see where he's from and all.
Yep.
Short ass.
Yep. Julie. Well, Stoke also missed on ball when he failed a medical there before he went to West Ham. Then St. Michael on a year and a half later. Yeah, they did. Absolutely, they did. Yeah. Good evening, Ian. Hope you're well. I have going for all NUFC strikers as opposed from what we've seen. Then 1 Gallagher, 2 Milburn, 3 Shearer, 4 White. Oh, yes, White and Shepherd as well. So, again, there's Tom's come up with some very good ones. So,
Ian, I think he's not Ian. David, I think he's staying at Burnley. David, I think he's staying at Burnley.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, David was on about obviously with company going to Burnley, not Burnley, Bayern. Bellamy was going to go. David, he isn't.
Right, fair enough.
He isn't. It depends who. Not because I've seen, but he was going to get. He's in the group of people who Burnley are wanting as manager. Bellamy's one of them.
Yeah, going back to Tom's comment, Len White. Yeah, that's who he's on about. Yeah, now it comes. Okay, but yeah, Len White was there. But again, it was way before. It was definitely before my time, though. But yeah, Len White he was a really good player and he scored quite a lot of goals. Bellamy, I've just read that one. That's interesting. Owen List is one of the worst mercenary git, or in other words, sick note.
Who was that? Owen. Oh,
Owen,
God.
yes, he was absolute sick note when he played for us. He didn't want to be at us. No way he did want to be at us, unfortunately. And yeah. So yeah, Bellamy was from Munchin Lad, says Lee. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Right, we'll get to the next one. Just next show, worst 5 strikers of all time. We may do the top 5 worst ones next. So yeah, I think the Shepherd one that Thomas mentioned was Albert Shepherd, again, right in the early 1900s. So wasn't anywhere near the worst, but he was a shite hole. Maybe we need a top list of shite hole strikers. Yeah, who could have had potential, but it turned, like attitude turned, and they didn't want to be here. So some like things like right. Next one we'll go into. Again, it's back to you, Mason. And so you are going for. Again, as I mentioned, we are doing this in no particular order, but it's another one of yours, Mason. You've gone for Papi Cisse. Go on.
In a game of bar, probably it was around my time. Probably one of the best Newcastle strikers had on the last year. Obviously, what a fucking player, man! What a player!
I mean, the first season we got him, he was brilliant.
And I understood he went on strike because of the whole Wonga situation. With
I think he
Giotti
did struggle in a couple of seasons, or
but honestly, he's just went. I think just before Carroll had signed, he was actually at the same club. Not last season, he was actually at the same club as Andy Carroll in France.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember the time that Sunderland thought they were going to get him and they paid for his flight, and then he came to us? Yeah, they did. No word of a lie. Sun had actually paid for his flight, and then we got him.
Wow.
But of course, you remember the goals he scored. I think the goal you've got to mention was that one against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
I thought you were going on about this one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yes, against Swansea. The one where he lobs it over the keeper.
I've seen that. At the end of the day, he was a prolific goal scorer. Probably up there at the time with at the time probably up there with Boney as two of the best African strikers in the league, along with Demba Ba before he fucked up with Chelsea. Him, Ba and Boney probably the 3 best African strikers in the league.
Yeah, I think what decked his confidence a bit was when he got shafted to right wing, when Ball wanted to go back in the centre. And I think when Demba Ba got sold, I think he sees his confidence quite a bit as well. That was the thing, unfortunately. But I remember when he got the injury against Swansea, then came back in the next season and scored against Hull City in the 2-2 draw. So, yeah. And remember that time he showed his support for Jonas Gutierrez at the time.
aye.
after being diagnosed with testicular cancer as well. But yeah,
You don't remember when he spat at Johnny Evans and he got that 6-game ban?
a 7-game ban. Aye, yes, he did. So
Oh,
yeah,
aye, for elbowing Coleman.
when he got an elbow he got a 3-game ban first for the elbow, then he got a 7-game ban because of the spitting incident. Because it would have been a red card for that. So
Peter, at least he didn't see the team who he scored that praise for when he did that thing for Gutierrez. Thank fuck.
absolutely, yep.
Because you know who it is, isn't it?
Santiago Munez,
Peter,
the guy from goal.
you know who it was, didn't you?
Yeah. It's top
That was when Swansea had proper players in.
Yeah, yes, Tom Len White was class. I didn't know that, but yes, apparently, again, apparently Sunderland paid for Papi Cici's flight, and then we went and got him. It is no word of a lie. I'm pretty sure it isn't. As well, Keegan outstanding. Yep, he was back in his playing times. Good evening, Sam. Hope you're well. Cici was scored for fun. Come on. Against Villa in his debut at St James's Park, if I remember correctly, and scored. Yeah, he did. Top corner with his left foot, it was as well. Shea Given was in goal for Aston Villa at the time as well. So, yeah. But yeah, there was some good times when CC came to the club. I think a couple of seasons he did struggle with confidence at times. I mean, the season when we got relegated, he really became on a downward spiral, unfortunately, and then we sold him. Unfortunately, but yeah. But you'll never forget the goal against Chelsea that he scored as well, which is definitely one of the best I've seen in my lifetime. It's just scoring from the throw-in line, and he just catches Petr Cech off his line and just says, wow. It was just but just imagine if that was at St James's Park only and not in an away ground. That would have been incredible. Yeah, Steve Harvey was shit up front. Yeah. What about Mickey Quinn? Yeah, Mickey Quinn was a great player as well. It was before my time, though. So, yeah, he was, but was converted to a great centre-back. Yes, he was. Steve Howie was a great centre-back as well. He was on my list that I did, says Mick, my son. The first ever football game I went to, December 2014 at St James's Park, when Ceci scored twice. We beat Chelsea 2-1. Yes, I remember that as well. I think Stephen Taylor got sent off for us for 2 yellow cards.
As I've said, my first game was in the 13-14 season when we beat the Villagers at 3-0 and we sent them down. Good evening, Cardiff.
Was that your first ever game, was it?
It was when they had Gunnar Solskjaer. Obviously, we're sending them
down. Yeah,
I think
we're
sending them down.
I think it was Shola, Remy, and Stephen Taylor scored then.
Oh, Peter, that was some fucking game, like, especially if it's
That was the time as well when people were protesting against
I seen that.
Ashley Kinnear, but Kinnear left at the time. And, of course, Pardew, Mike Ashley as well. So I remember that. And a lot of fans were leaving around about the 60-odd minutes of the game it was.
Aye. No Saturday in. Saturday, David.
Yep. Mickey Quinn would probably be in a popular strikers list. Yep. Just a shame Ceci wasn't the same after his unbelievable start. He wasn't actually, unfortunately, which was a little bit gut-wrenching. Yes, Sam saying hello to Ian. That was also Chelsea's first defeat in any competition that season. I think it was. It was as well, actually. What was that Friday night, Mason?
No, it was the Saturday. It was the Saturday.
Saturday. It was when they protested against Ashley and Pardew at the time. Have you mentioned Remy yet? I was good at the time. We didn't make a permanent deal. Pretty clinical with his chances. He scored, but I just didn't think Remy wanted to come permanently. Unfortunately,
I stayed. It's 69 minutes onwards because I was enjoying the battering. I was enjoying the battering.
69 minutes because of our last trophy win. Yeah, it was. It was all down to that. It was. Top 5 most popular in NUFC Strikers that I've seen: Chirac, Kelly, Quinn, Ferdinand, and Espria, says Tom. That's really good choices there. I'm sure we smashed Cardiff on a Friday night under the lights one season. Yeah, 5-1, wasn't it?
No, it was the championship.
Yeah, championship. Championship 5-1.
Was it?
It was.
Oh, it was 2-0. 2-0.
No, 5-1. 5-1, yep. actually fucked off half our best forwards. You certainly did, Lee. You certainly did. Well, then, this is another one of my choices, and I've gone for this guy. I think we all remember this guy under Keegan as well. It's this guy. It's Sir Les Ferdinand. I thought the guy was just absolutely brilliant. The guy was just absolutely brilliant. We signed the guy from Queen's Park Rangers as well for $6 million. As well, remember the guy had the number 9 shirt at first. In the season we finished second. He had the number 9 season then. But soon as Shearer came in, unfortunately, Ferdinand very kindly decided to give it up, to give it to Shearer. But the guy just scored some belting goals. Les Ferdinand, he was a very, really good in front of goal as well. And
just a shame he's related to that fucking prick.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, don't you?
So I'm just going to say something. Just a shame. It was just a shame that Daglish sold him, which I didn't get.
Aye.
Because apparently he said that said the club didn't want him, or Daglish said he didn't want him. But then Shearer then goes in a pre-season tournament and gets injured against Everton against Chelsea, and he's out for 7 months. And then he tried to get Les Ferdinand to try and change his decision, and he said, "No, you've told us I'm not wanted anymore." So, so that was gut wrenching because, and then after that we just started to drift down the table. The season afterwards, when a lot of our top players then went, but Les Ferdinand was just so good.
No, just a shame his cousin's a wanker.
I think him and Shearer, the season they played together, I think it was a combination of 49 goals in total between the pair of them.
You know who his cousin is, Peter?
Who?
Rio.
Oh.
Did you not know that?
I actually didn't. Would you
It's
believe it?
Don't know our cousins.
Yep. So remember, Les getting 29 goals in his first season. And just a shame we missed out on the turn because we were 12 points clear at that table as well. But yeah, but scored 50 goals in 84 games as well, which was great. But it was just a shame we shouldn't have sold him. And to let him go just before Shearer gets an injury, well, Shearer to say that he wasn't wanted, but then Shearer gets an injury, and then they try to get him to change his decision. But you kind of blame Les for doing that. As well, because he said, "You told us I'm not wanted," so that's why I decided to leave the club, unfortunately. The first game I was at was April 1987 against Norwich, where we won 4-1, and Steve Bruce was one of the Norwich defenders. Shit then, shit now. Chelsea took Revy and never played him. No, they didn't. Papi Cisse goals at Chelsea. His first goal was class. His second was the greatest I have seen at I am 65, says Joe. Wow. Number 2 for me is Bar, says Lawrence. Sir Les, world class, and that shirt. Yeah, that shirt was brilliant, wasn't it? Les Ferdinand, best header of the board. Yep, said it was great with his head. The one off the bar against Man United in the 5-0 win as well. It's just incredible. Ferdinand neck power on those headers, insane. Oh, yes. It was just our luck that Shearer would get the injury right before our first UEFA Champions League campaign, and we sold Ferdinand. Yeah, we shouldn't have done that. Very, very, very close second by me for Shearer when those two played together. It was frightening. Defenders couldn't cope. Mark 1 and the other was free. Absolutely, yep. I would choose Shearer and Ferdinand over Kane and Son all day, says David. Nice one. Both had a few injuries, but when one was out, the other was in, so we had at least one of them playing. Yeah, we said we did. Absolutely, we did. Am I right in saying Les was only with us for 1 season? 2 seasons. 95, 96... and 96, 97 as well. So, yeah, I mean, Sam says, don't blame Les for not U-turning if he didn't feel valued. No, you kind of blame him in as well. If you're getting told you're not wanted, you're well, I may as well just leave them. And then to say, oh, we've made a mistake. Well, he says, sorry, but you've told us I'm not wanted, so I'm going. It just goes, all you need to do is going back and watch True Geordie podcast with Alan Shearer. And even Alan Shearer told you how that story happened when Les left the football club. So True Geordie's podcast with Shearer at the time, and then Shearer because says of how the story was, how it happened with Les leaving the football club. It was gut wrenching letting Les go because he was so good in front of. He was just so fantastic for us. I mean, not only mentioned, but to give up the number 9 shirt in his second season to give it Alan Shearer, of course, it's just incredible. But it was a bad mistake to sell him. It was an absolute bad mistake to sell him. So, yeah, it was 2 seasons. 2, Christopher. Yeah, it was for just the same. Ferdinand's form dropped second half of 95-6 season. Only 7 after Christmas compared to 18 goals in the half of the season. Had a good partnership with Shearer the following year. Well, as I mentioned, him and Shearer got a combination of 49 goals between them in the second season. Dalglish's downfall was his transfer business. Ferdinand and Ginola out and replaced by Givosh and Hamilton. Yes, Stefan Givosh and Des Hamilton. Also signed a past it Ian Rush, and his son wasn't so good either, from what I recalled. Yeah, certainly was. Also respect him for giving up the number 9 shirt when Shearer arrived. Yeah, he certainly, because he said, well, I've always worn number 9, but then Celeste kind of offered it to give it up for Shearer to go and take it. But yeah, it was a bad mistake letting him go. Daglish should be arrested for crimes to football for ripping that squad up. Yeah, we go from 2nd to 13th in Daglish's first full season. We go from 2nd to 13th. That's a big drop. That massive drop. Okay, so we go into another one, and me and Mason have got the same one for this one. I'm going to ask in the chat, who do you think we've got as the next one we're going to choose that we've both got? Ian Rush and John Barnes, both crap. Lawrence is going for Shearer. Oh. Does Mason remember Michu at Swansea? I wanted the two to sign him at one stage. Yeah, you must remember Michu.
I know I got sent with I forgot his name, Trundle, Booney, and a load of other players.
Mm-hmm. Keegan Shearer, Ferdinand, Colin Quinn. Esprit took a lot of the blame for Ferdinand's drop in form when he arrived. Yeah. We send the likes of Bonds and Rush from Liverpool under Dalglish. Both have finished by the time they came to us. They did. Number 1 for me is Isak. Would have said Shearer, but include players that I get to see live. Fair enough. Remy or Shearer, King Al. Ooh. We've gone for an Isak from Christopher. And it's certainly not who I'm trying to fall for. I'm not Sinclair. Right. I can tell you one of the people was right in the chat. And that person that was right was Christopher. We are both gone for Mr. Alexander Isak. For this one. Yeah, Isak. 60. Been a record signing so far. 63 million from Atletico. Sorry, not from Atletico. Sociedad, sorry. And the guy's just been incredible. Shame he got injured in the season we got him and was out until January from September. But then the guy's just come back as stronger ever since and got 20 plus goals in all competitions and over 20 goals in the Premier League for us. So, yeah. We got to hold on to this guy for next season. Again, Isak, if you are watching, we want you to stay. We want you to stay. That's all we want you to do. Stay at the club, build around him and the likes of Bruno and Gordon, and we can challenge for a trophy next season or get back into Europe as well. But Mason, I think it's an obvious reason why we've had to include Isak in our top 5.
The kid's class. I've never had a striker like it in my time of watching Newcastle, and especially since the new ownership as well. I mean, wow. Unbelievable considering he's 24 now.
Mhm.
He's still got quite a few more. He's still got He's still got loads of years ahead of him. Obviously,
Yeah.
a full Sweden national as well, which is very, very pleasing.
Yep. Absolutely. The guy's just been incredible. Be great if we could give him the number 9 shirt for next season. You just never know. Michael Owen told Tosser, can Isak be in the top goal scorer next for Golden Boot?
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting one. That depends if anybody beats Holland. I just hope somebody breaks his freaking both his knees so Isak can win it. What that the fact is as well. On a serious note, it all depends what happens with Man City's charges.
We'll wait and see. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. But yeah, Isak's just been. There was a lot of doubters over him at first, but he's been brilliant. The guy's just scores goals. To get 20 odd plus goals in your second full season with us is incredible. I mean, Isak only got 10 in his first season because of the injuries. If he didn't have that injury, he would have got more. Just a shame if Isak didn't have a few injuries the season gone, he could have had more than might not have been far from 30 goals. You never know.
But we've been with that Kubo now.
Yeah.
Imagine if we sign him, if we sign him, he's that partnership, and I think it didn't. I think he didn't play with Isak because Isak must have left when he signed for Sociedad from Madrid. If we get that Kubo for that partnership with Isak and Kubo, bloody hell, man.
Fair enough. I think Isak might want to keep the number 14 shirt. I think that's a shirt. Fair enough if he wants to. All we want him to do is just stay at this football club. Rumours, we are going to slap 200 million on the guy, on a price tag on the guy.
He wants number 40. He wants number 14 because he admired Henri as a kid.
Yeah, that's probably does. But as long as no one else takes him, I just want to see this guy stay and build a team around him so we can challenge for a trophy or get into Europe again.
Fuck off Arsenal.
Yeah. I just don't. I'm getting sick of all the bullshit about with Isak and these Arsenal tops. I'm getting fed up to the back teeth of them. I really, really am, to be honest. So, yeah. Right, then. We're going on to the final ones that we've chosen because we've chosen all the others. Now, Mason, for this one, I think you're going to get absolutely bricks thrown at you.
No. Actually, I'll change it now.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, just leave it if I'm going to get pelted for it. Just keep with the one who I had previously.
Okay, yeah. So it's going to be back to what we had. Both of us have had. Right, have you got the photo, Mason?
No, just keep yours. Be fine.
Okay, then. Right, then. So we're going on to the last one. Now, again, we'll let you know in the chat. Who do you think it is going to be for the last one?
Can I give a clue away?
No, 30 seconds. We'll give people 30 seconds to decide what to think. Who is our final one in our top 5?
Can I please give a giveaway? Well, if I give my giveaway, he's from Gosforth.
And it's certainly not him, Andrew. Lawrence is going for Shearer. Christopher says it's Shirley Shearer. Keep the comments coming if you haven't got it in. Frank Pinkle says it. Lord Shearer says Julie. Cole Court says David. God, he was a flop, him like Cole Court. Lee's gone for Shearer as well. Stefan Givosh, says Tom. God, he was awful. Armstrong. You on about Adam Armstrong there, Mick? King of Gospers, Alan Shearer. Mason has picked Michael Owen and Peter Allen.
No, Lewis, I haven't picked him.
Definitely not Andrew. Right then, here he is. It is what they've gone for in the chat. It's none other than... There he is. Yes, the one and only Big Al, War Alan Shearer. Yes, top goal scorer of all time here for us as well. Yeah, he has to be a little bit the top, of course. God, says Andrew. Yep, of course. All bow to the king. Yep, absolutely, Julie. Absolutely. This is definitely not David. But yeah, Alan Shearer signed a guy in 1996 from Blackburn Rovers for £15 million. That was a world transfer record breaking as well. And oh, is my camera gone?
Yep.
Right, sorry, I'm just going to do a quick refresh, guys, quickly. So we'd be back in a minute.
So he's went. Yes, he has. Lewis will be on the train today, mate. Yes, he has.
There we are.
You back over?
Yeah, I'm fine now. There we are. What's happened to your picture? You're frozen there, Pete. Yeah, I don't know why my camera decided to do that. Anyways, so remember, Shearer, that time our world transfer record breaking 50 million that we got. Now, of course, there was a choice of two clubs he wanted. One of them was us. The other was a team in Salford. So, to be fair, big
Tom.
Some PG. It's just how long has Shearer been bald for? It must have been quite some number of years. It's definitely been quite a while. Chris Wood says, you know. But yeah. The guy was just an absolute goal machine. The guy was just he was a player. That is what you call a proper striker. As well. So remember, Manchester Reds, I like to call them, says Christopher. Of course, there was a choice of two clubs he could have went to. He decided he wanted to sign for his hometown because he could have went to Manchester, but no, until King Kev decided to come calling for him and comes to sign us for a world record of £50 million. Remember when the signing got revealed, everyone turned up at St. James's Park. All the fans turned up on the day outside St. James's Park to welcome Alan Shearer at the club at the time, which was just incredible. How much is Shearer today? Oh.
Were you at this stadium, Pete?
I wasn't actually.
I was fucking God knows where.
Not born yet, Mason. Thank God Newcastle called him first. Yeah, absolutely they did. And just to see there, all the people that were there outside to see him on the day to see him sign for us was just incredible. 220 to 230 million thinks that's how much Tom thinks Shearer would be worth nowadays. But of course, the goals, his first goal was against Wimbledon from a free kick as well. And the guy's just but he scored. He was only scoring penalties for a few games first, and his first goal from open play was against Leeds United away when we won 1-0 in that game. And of course, he has had some bad injuries. Of course, he's had a serious ankle injury in 1997, which ruled him out for about 7 months. I think it was about the 2000-2001 season. Apparently, he suffers a really serious knee injury and is out for the remainder of that season as well. So, of course, we know he's had a bust up with a manager before. That was Ruud Gullit. When the guy decides to put him on the bench in a tiny weird derby of all games as well.
You know what? It's a funny thing if you mention that, because people are probably going to give us pelters here, but listen, when I was in the gym, I think it was Friday, I listened to Kevin Phillips on Under the Cosh.
Oh yeah.
And he said when they're having the meeting in the hotel, Peter Reid, I forgot what I was right, but Peter Reid mentioned that Ferguson and Shearer were going to get dropped, and I thought, I totally forgot what was said.
Don't worry.
No, wait, I do. He said, since it's dropping out now, you're going to have a field day. That's what Peter Reid said.
Really? Shearer told the story that he and his wife got a house in Manchester, which they abandoned. Yes, they did as well. 300 million, priceless, says Julie. I agree. Priceless. Shearer often talks about the build-up to Euro 96 for England when Terry stuck with him and he didn't even score for nearly 2 years. Shearer's best striking partner, apart from Ferdinand, was Craig Bellamy, and that derby was a disgrace. He had Shearer, Duncan and Ferguson on the bench that day. Yes, he did. And I couldn't believe it. And Shearer was devastated. And if Gullit stayed at Newcastle on as manager, then Shearer would have been gone out the club. But unfortunately, after that derby where we lost 2-1 to Sunderland, he was out the door, and a certain Sir Bobby Robson takes over as manager. And Bobby Robson's first game as manager in Newcastle, Shearer goes and bags 5 goals in an 8-0 win against Sheffield United. Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday. Shearer goes and grabs himself 5 goals in that game as well. But the guy's just been brilliant, of course. We all remember breaking Jackie Milburn's record against Portsmouth in 2006 to reach 201 goals, and the guy finished on 206 overall goals there for us as well, which is just incredible. The guy's just had a brilliant career. He could have went to other clubs. Of course, he has won trophies with Blackburn, but his dream was to play for his boyhood club, and that was, of course, Newcastle United. And the testimonial was very, very emotional to see. Then when that was it for him calling football. But of course, his last.
Can I quickly come back and what I listened to Under the Cosh with Phillips about that game?
Yeah.
Basically, what I've just had to listen to it again, and asked some of it came back in my head. He said Peter Reid, when they found out that Shearer and Ferguson weren't playing, the team talk was done. And when he had spoken to Rob Lee about that game, Rob Lee admitted to Kevin Phillips. Was it Phillips who scored the winner?
It was him on Nigel Quinn. It was.
Rob Lee had to stay at home. Rob Lee was just jumping around the house because he knows if they got when they got beat, Gullit was sacked the next day.
He was, yep.
That's what was said on Under the Cosh, and it's this game we had and all. The next day, Phillips had went in Newcastle, right? On the Sunday, he went in. Luckily enough, he went in the Greggs, and some old wifey behind him touched him on the shoulder and turned around saying, "What you doing in ya? You're not. What you doing in ya?" And he said, "Why?" And our wifey said, "What you doing in ya for what you did last night?" This was all on Under the Cosh with Kevin Phillips. He
Wow.
came. He had came and said what was said about that Derby night.
I can imagine. Big Dunk smashed Hullet's door down. He did. Shearer and Big Duncan on the bench. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Surprised no one mentioned Big Dunk. I forgot him as well. He was quite a bit of a powerhouse up front. Surprised he did Julie Lol. The next month, Shearer went in early to have it out with Hullet. He arrived to Hullet's door off the hinges. Hullet's cowering under his desk, and Ferguson is going ballistic, says Tom. Yeah, absolutely. Shearer, the masterclass. Are the pair of you off to both England men's and women's games? St James's on Friday, Monday. I'm going to both and cannot wait. I'm actually not going to them, but you're going to the game on Monday, Mason.
Aye, I'm going on Monday. I'm going on Monday.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not at the games, but I think they're nearly all sold out. Or the
Monday's game sold out. Monday's game sold out.
Yeah, never mind. Hopefully, the games are going to be televised
on Channel 4.
Aye.
All England games are on Channel 4. Channel 4.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Shearer, his justest dream was to play for his boyhood club, which was Newcastle United. The goals he scored as well. It was a great free kick he buried against Arsenal. We beat them 4-2. One against Chelsea where we beat them 2-1. The way he really absolutely turned I think it was Desai on his, and he just put that in, and he just buried that in the top corner. But the best goal for me was that strike against Everton in the 2-1 win. He just absolutely volleyed that the first time, and it was just wow. Richard Wright in goal for Everton as well. Couldn't get anywhere near that. That is the best goal for me he's even scored, and even he has admitted himself that was the best ever goal he scored for us as well. So it was just incredible. Absolutely incredible it was. And just very emotional when his testimonial came, and that was him calling it for football throughout the rest of his life. Of course, we know he tried to come back for us as management. Unfortunately, it didn't work out to try and save us from going down. Fortunately, it didn't work, which was absolutely heartbreaking. But Shearer was a proper team player. He was a dirty player at times, but he was a proper team player for us. And
for some reason, my granddad hates him. My granddad hates Shearer for some reason. I'm not why. Because you think my granddad's a Toon fan and all.
England, Schmengland, club everything, country nothing, says it, Tom. But yeah, Shearer had to go into our top 5. We kept him till last because he's the greatest one we have had of all time. And 206 goals for us in total is just some achievement in 10 years as well. The guy who had been with us as well. Just the best player. And to be honest, the best player in the Premier League of all time as well. Still the leading goal top scorer as well. Harry Kane could have been on the verge of breaking that. Unfortunately, Harry Kane went off to Bayern Munich. So who is the next one that is likely to break it? I don't know. Hopefully no one. But could have had a great career as a centre-back. He could have done as well. I think I remember the time he was told how he got called up to Southampton at first. I forgot who it was, though.
McManamy.
Yes.
Luckily enough, he's from Gators, McManamy.
It's Southampton, yeah. I remember when Shearer got told he had to clean up he had to clean the football boots at one time as well after a game. He had to do a lot of chores there during the time at Southampton. Rutel packed the job up. Sheffield said safe sucking him off and safe paying him off. Yeah, absolutely. But it was very emotional when Shearer set up. But we all remember for his last goal, 4-1 win against the Mackhams from the penalty spot. He's going to keep that goal scoring record for a long time, says Christopher. I really, really, truly hope he does as well. I really, really hope he does as well. So that's why War Big Al had to go into our top 5. Statue outside of him at St James's Park in the right place, right next to Sir Bobby now. And yeah, and I was on the day of there when the statue got revealed, which people say it does not look anything like him at all. But I remember being there for the statue reveal as well outside St. James's Park in 2016. It was just incredible as well. I remember there was a lot of people that turned up that day just to get selfies, photos as well with him as well. Just absolutely, just incredible it was to see a statue like him right next to the ground as well. Just absolutely amazing. We could do with a King Kevin Keegan as well. Yeah, why not? We could do as well. We've got Jackie, of course. We've got Shearer. We've got Bobby Robson. There's still room for some more that we could put there as well. So, Alan Shearer had to be in the top 5. Easy decision it was. We would have come to the statue unveil if it wasn't for my college timetable. Remember getting asked if I wanted to come to it. All right, yeah, on the YTS's apprentices, many play out to clean senior players' boots. When Gaza was an apprentice, he looked after Keegan's boots. He took them home to the show friends and lost them on the bus. Oh my word. Eddie Hatch. Eddie.
That's going again.
Playing up again. Oh.
Are you back?
Yep. I don't know what was going on there. Eddie's house statue one day, hopefully. The Shiro one is pretty awful. He looks like he's dancing to Gangnam Style. It could have been a lot. It could have been better. It could have been better, to be honest. But I'm glad he got one. He finally got one that outside of the ground as well. So, yeah, well. Oh, well then, we've now come to the end of the show now, guys. So it's been a cracking show. So we might look to start again from next Tuesday and go with our top worst of players this time. So we might look into we'll probably start. I don't know if there's going to be many for goalkeepers, though. That's the problem. But defenders, midfielders, strikers, yes. There's going to be, there definitely could be plenty. Though, so me, Mason may look to do some of that starting from next week as well. But so far, our next scheduled live show is this Friday.
England ladies.
Well, yeah.
People might be there. People might be there, won't they?
But still. But we know what happens on a Friday night as well. The Crazy Paddy's Football Live Show is also on Friday night as well. So that's what we got coming on this Friday as well. That's our scheduled next live show, Paddy's Football Live Show. So do get yourselves tuned in for that. So that's what we got scheduled coming up on this Friday. Is the this week is the Crady's Paddy's Football Live Show. Just remember, there's plenty ship keepers. If they're probably going to be before my time, Tom, that's the thing. So I wouldn't have had a chance to look at some of these poor keepers. There's probably been a couple that have definitely been for us, but probably some of the poorest have been way before my time. So, great show tonight, Pete and Mason. Everyone spot on. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Everyone, cheers so much, Lee. Great show as ever, lads. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Mason, if you could eat one food only, what would it be? Says Ian.
Kebab.
Oh, can we do 5 with Swansea players, please? Feed plenty of names. You'll be food picks Friday night. Says Lee. Absolutely. Take care, everyone. You as well, Julie. Good night, everyone, and take care as well. Take care, Julie. Take care as well, Ian. So, yeah, our next scheduled live show, PD's Crazy Football Live Show this week. We will take something about for my top 5 worst keepers, but I'll come up with some. Liam says it's a wise choice as well. So there you are. Remember, guys, if you have enjoyed tonight's show, remember to give us a thumbs up. It does keep us up those search results on YouTube. Please, of course, if you are brand new to the channel, if you're not yet subscribed, and you enjoy what goes on the channel week in, week out, hit that subscribe button, free to do so. Does help make the channel grow, and the bell notification will let you know whenever we are live or when a pre-recorded video takes place on the day, so that notify you what is coming up on the channel week in, week out. And again, if you'd like to give a donation, feel free to do so. And if you want to become a member, it's just 99p a month. Hit the join button, you'll be put to the next prize draw we do on the channel as well. See what takes some time thinking about my top 5 worst goalkeepers, but I'll come up with some, says Lawrence. Fair enough. A wise choice, says Ian. See you later as well, says Tom. So then, guys, until our next show, which is the Crazy PD's Football Live show, we will see you all later. But until then, guys, take care, everyone. Is Mason still out?
And Piers went. I don't know what's happened there, but sorry about that. I just had to sort something out. So we'll be back Friday. I don't know if Peter wants me to stay or not, but he's gone. I will see you Friday. I'll see you Friday. I didn't realise about this. See you Friday, folks. Take care.